4 seafoods you should never let near your plate after 60. And 4 you should eat every single day. You won't hear this in the evening news, and there's a reason for that. The seafood business is a multi-billion-dollar machine, and some of its biggest moneymakers are the very ones quietly sabotaging your heart, joints, and digestion. Here's the part nobody tells you. There's one ocean food proven to help rebuild cartilage, ease joint pain, and even support glowing skin. Yet you'll almost never see it promoted. Why? Well, simple. It's not nearly as profitable as the cheap, mass-produced stuff flooding supermarket shelves and restaurant menus. Most seniors still believe seafood is automatically the healthiest thing they can order. The truth? You've been sold a lie. In this video, we'll count down the 4 worst offenders and the 4 best healing seafoods, ranked from a little risky to flat-out toxic, all backed by solid science. And before we dive in, tell us in the comments where you're watching from. We read every single one. 4. Squid. On paper, squid seems like a safe, even sophisticated choice. Low in calories, high in protein, and often grilled instead of fried. But here's the catch. A single 3-ounce serving hides a hefty 198 milligrams of cholesterol. Now, if you were 25, your body might process that without much trouble. But as we age, the liver slows down. It clears cholesterol from the blood at a much slower pace, meaning every bite lingers in your system longer, pushing up those LDL numbers. And the science backs it up. One large study found that diets high in cholesterol were linked to a 43% increase in arterial stiffness and a 31% higher risk of heart attacks or strokes. That's not just theory. That's measurable damage. Squid also packs purines, natural compounds that break down into uric acid. In younger bodies, uric acid is usually flushed out without much trouble. But in seniors, it can build up, crystallizing in the joints. That's gout. The fiery, stabbing pain that can turn something as simple as walking to the mailbox into a challenge. One long-term study showed that eating high-purine seafood twice a week could raise the risk of chronic joint inflammation by 54%. For some people, the signs start small. Morning stiffness, swelling around the ankles, or sudden spikes in blood pressure after a seafood-heavy meal. Over time, those minor annoyances become a cycle of joint pain, cardiovascular strain, and endless doctor visits. So while squid might look harmless on a menu, for many over 60, it's a hidden accelerant for heart trouble and joint misery. And if you think squid is risky, wait until you see the next seafood on our list, one that's considered a luxury but could quietly be aging your brain. 3. Imitation. Crab, it looks like crab, it tastes a little like crab, but here's the truth. Imitation crab isn't crab at all. It's a mashup of leftover white fish scraps, blended with starch, sugar, salt, and a laundry list of additives to hold it together and give it that pink crab color. The problem? All those starches and sugars give imitation crab a high glycemic index, meaning it hits your bloodstream like a slice of white bread. And for seniors, those rapid blood sugar spikes can be especially dangerous. One study found that older adults who ate imitation crab 3 times a week had 2.6 times higher insulin levels compared to those who didn't. Over time, that extra insulin surge can push the body closer to insulin resistance, diabetes, and accelerated aging. And it's not just the sugar. A single serving can pack 700 milligrams or more of sodium, nearly a third of your daily limit. For seniors whose blood vessels are already less elastic, that sodium spike can mean sudden jumps in blood pressure, putting extra strain on the heart. Then there are the additives, like MSG, that give imitation crab its savory punch. For some people, especially as they age, MSG can trigger headaches, dizziness, or a flushed, uneasy feeling. But perhaps the biggest disappointment? Real crab is loaded with vitamin B12, zinc, and omega-3 fatty acids, all nutrients that support brain health, immunity, and inflammation control. Imitation crab has almost none of them. You're getting the calories, but missing the benefits. It's cheap, it's convenient, and it's everywhere, from California rolls to seafood salads. But don't let the name fool you. This is one crab that could quietly work against your heart, brain, and blood sugar. And if you think that's bad, the next seafood on the list is even worse, because it might already be sitting in your freezer right now. 2. Scallops. They're tender, mild, and often served as a high-end treat, but scallops hide a risk most people never think about. The problem isn't fat, calories, or even cholesterol. It's cadmium, a toxic heavy metal that the body can't easily get rid of. Cadmium builds up slowly in the kidneys over time. And for seniors whose kidneys are already filtering less efficiently, that accumulation can be even more dangerous. The World Health Organization sets strict safety limits for cadmium exposure, and frequent scallop consumption can push you right up against that threshold. Why does this matter? Cadmium damages tiny filters inside the kidneys, leading to protein leakage into the urine. It's also linked to a rise in blood pressure, chronic fatigue, and a general feeling of slowing down, symptoms that are often mistaken for just getting older. Unlike fish, such as salmon or sardines, scallops offer very little to offset the risk. They're naturally low in omega-3 fatty acids, which means they deliver almost no anti-inflammatory benefits for your brain, joints, or heart. In fact, ounce for ounce, oysters have 15 times more omega-3s than scallops. That's the tricky part. The scallops look harmless, taste delicate, and are often seen as a safe seafood choice. But their damage is silent. Cadmium doesn't cause immediate symptoms. Instead, it quietly builds up year after year until the effects start to show, and by then, the harm is much harder to reverse. If you truly love them, enjoy them as a rare indulgence, not a regular part of your seafood routine. Your kidneys will thank you. And if you think scallops are risky, wait until you hear about the one seafood that could be raising your cholesterol and blood pressure in just a single serving. One shrimp. They're the most popular seafood in America. Bite-sized, low-calorie, and often marketed as a lean protein. But shrimp have a dark side that makes them a poor choice, especially for seniors. First, cholesterol. Just a 3-ounce serving of shrimp packs around 180 milligrams of dietary cholesterol. That's more than half the daily limit many doctors recommend. One large-scale study found that eating over 300 milligrams per day was linked to a 35% higher risk of stroke and a 24% higher risk of coronary heart disease. For older adults, whose arteries are already more vulnerable, that's a big red flag. Second, shrimp carry a protein called tropomyosin, one of the most common triggers of seafood allergies worldwide. Even if you've eaten shrimp for decades, your immune system can become more sensitive with age, meaning reactions, from hives to dangerous anaphylaxis, can appear for the first time after 60. Then there's the digestive issue. Shrimp shells, even when removed, can leave behind tiny fragments of chitin, a hard, fibrous substance that's tough on the gut. For those with slower digestion, that can mean bloating, discomfort, and low-grade inflammation. And if you're buying farm-raised shrimp, there's another problem: antibiotic residues. In many countries, farmed shrimp are treated with drugs like oxytetracycline and enrofloxacin to control disease outbreaks. A recent food safety study found that 42% of frozen shrimp tested contained detectable antibiotic residues, compounds that can disrupt your gut microbiome, reduce healthy bacterial diversity, and even contribute to antibiotic resistance. Put it all together, and shrimp can act like a metabolic trap, luring you in with low calories while quietly raising cholesterol, triggering inflammation, and upsetting your gut balance. If you truly love shrimp, treat them like dessert, something you enjoy once in a while, not a dietary staple. Now that we've covered the 4 worst seafoods, here's the good news. Some options are not only safe, but can actively protect your heart, brain, and joints. Let's look at the best seafoods to include in your diet after 60. Best seafood number 4, sea cucumber. Now this one might surprise you because it's not your usual fish on a plate. Sea cucumber looks a bit odd, but inside, it's a gold mine for aging joints and skin. Packed with collagen-like compounds, it helps keep your cartilage springy and your skin firm, even as the years stack up. In one 12-week study, seniors taking sea cucumber extract reported 35% less joint pain. That's not just a number. That's a noticeable difference when you're walking, bending, or climbing stairs. The magic comes from 2 powerful compounds: triterpene glycosides, which support immune and anti-inflammatory functions, and chondroitin sulfate. The same stuff you'll find in many joint supplements, but here it's all natural. The best part? You don't have to eat it raw or fancy. Slow cooking sea cucumber in soups not only brings out its soft, tender texture, it also preserves those precious nutrients. It's like giving your joints a warm, soothing hug from the inside. Best seafood number 3, green-lipped mussels. Straight from the clean waters of New Zealand, these mussels aren't just another seafood, they're nature's joint protectors. They contain a rare omega-3 called ETA that works differently from the usual DHA and EPA. ETA actually blocks a key enzyme that triggers joint inflammation, helping you stay mobile and comfortable. One clinical study found that seniors taking green-lipped mussel extract every day experienced 42% less joint discomfort. And that's without relying on heavy painkillers. They're also packed with zinc for immunity, selenium for antioxidant defense, plus iron and iodine to keep your thyroid and energy levels steady. For the biggest benefit, steam them gently instead of boiling them to death. It keeps their delicate omega-3s and minerals intact, so you get all the goodness they have to offer. If you're finding these tips helpful, make sure to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the list. Best seafood number 2. Oysters. Oysters are more than just a delicacy. They're a powerhouse of bioavailable zinc, the kind your body absorbs easily. Zinc is critical for keeping your immune system strong, helping wounds heal faster, and even supporting healthy testosterone levels in both men and women. This is especially important because research shows 40% of adults over 60 are zinc deficient, which can leave you feeling tired, slow to recover from illness, and more prone to infections. Oysters are also loaded with vitamin B12, a nutrient your nerves and brain rely on to keep energy levels high and mental clarity sharp. And they bring along selenium and copper, two trace minerals that work together to maintain bone density and protect against age-related bone loss. For the best nutrition, enjoy them lightly steamed or fresh from a trusted source. Overcooking can damage the delicate vitamins and minerals they provide. Best seafood number 1, sea moss. Sea moss isn't just a trendy superfood. It's one of the most nutrient-dense foods in the ocean, containing over 90 essential trace minerals your body needs for optimal function. These include iodine, magnesium, calcium, potassium, and iron, all in a form that's easy for your body to absorb. It's especially valuable for collagen support. While it doesn't contain collagen directly, it's rich in the amino acids and micronutrients your body uses to build its own, helping keep your skin firm, your joints supple, and your connective tissue strong. In fact, one study found that people who consumed sea moss daily saw 37% better joint mobility and 29% less skin dryness after just 12 weeks. Sea moss is also a natural source of mucilage, a gel-like fiber that soothes and protects the digestive tract. This can help reduce bloating, ease constipation, and calm acid reflux, making it a gentle yet powerful support for gut health. Its iodine content supports thyroid function, which regulates metabolism and energy. Meanwhile, its potassium and magnesium benefit the heart, and its anti-inflammatory compounds help support lung health and easier breathing. For maximum nutrition, never boil sea moss. Instead, soak it in clean water for 12-24 hours, rinse thoroughly, and blend into a gel. This gel can be added to smoothies, soups, or teas for a daily mineral boost. So let's quickly recap. On the worst list, we had squid, imitation crab, scallops, and shrimp. Seafoods that may taste good but can carry hidden downsides like heavy metals, preservatives, or nutrient imbalances. On the best list, we explored sea cucumber, green-lipped mussels, oysters, and sea moss. Nutrient-packed options that can help protect joints, boost immunity, and support overall vitality. Here's the truth. As we age, our bodies become less forgiving. Every bite we take either builds us up or slowly breaks us down. Choosing the right foods isn't about perfection. It's about stacking the odds in your favor, one plate at a time. If you found this video helpful, share it with a friend or family member who cares about staying healthy. And I'd love to hear from you. Which seafood from today's list will you try? And which one are you ditching for good? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more science-backed, practical health tips every week, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Your future self will thank you.